In this episode, it's Flex Friday, so timed volume sets are king.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 280 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular podcast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. And we are large, we are in charge, the biceps are large, the nipples are hard. This is the sexiest, most swoleolist podcast in the freaking realm. And this episode 280 is going to be lit like a tit. It is going off the chain. It is Flex Friday. And it is a workout podcast. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's a workout podcast. And if you signed in without even looking at the title, then you are going to be surprised, and pleasantly surprised, I might add. Today's episode is titled Timed Volume Sets. That's right, timed volume sets. And you might have not the foggiest idea what a timed volume set is. Well, a volume, or an amount of volume, is sets times repetitions. It's the amount of work that you are doing in a workout. The volume. And volume is directly related to hypertrophy. And hypertrophy is muscle size and muscle growth and muscle development. And you want hypertrophy if you're a female. You want hypertrophy if you're a male because you're trying to develop muscle. Even if you're a female, you're not trying to get really big. You're still trying to develop muscle. So you need hypertrophy. So you need training volume. Now, everyone's training volume is going to be different because if you're a beginner, you're not going to need as much training volume as someone that's been training for 10 or 15 years like myself. So you have to build up to this volume so you don't overload the muscle, you don't damage the muscle, and all those things. Doing workouts based on timed volume. Now, what does timed volume mean? Well, it means doing sets of exercises based on time. I'm going to take a sip of coffee and pour a little bit out for the homies that don't even lift. Bloop. For the homies that don't even make no gains, because we're about to get absolutely huge. We're going to get huge. Forget that H. We're going to get huge. U-G-E. Huge. Or Y-U-G-E. Workouts based on a time cap. For example, if you do a set for bicep curls, and instead of doing 10 reps or 12 reps, remember how I say don't count? Well, this can help you if you have trouble not counting. Because some of you said, man, I've been counting my whole life. It's really hard not to count. Well, do a timed set. Pick up a weight and do a set for 1 minute. And do a minute set. Because when you're doing a hypertrophy repetition, a general strength repetition, you're doing about 2 seconds up and 2 seconds down. That's about 4 seconds. So if you're doing 10 reps, that's 40 seconds. And then if you add a couple more, that might be 12, 13, 14 reps. And you might do a little bit longer for repetition when you struggle. So you could do a set for a minute. Okay, set one for biceps, set a timer, 1 minute. And then just curl as many times as you can for a minute. Now, if you're doing a lot of repetitions, if it's really light and you're doing 20 or 30, you got to go heavier. But pick a weight that you know would be in a range of like 8 to 12 or 15 repetitions, set a timer for a minute, and curl until that timer goes off. So you can have a little watch. You can set up your cell phone or your iPhone or your Galaxy, whatever you have, and set a timer for a minute, and then curl for that minute. That's a great way to eliminate the need to count and get your mind kind of, off the thinking of counting. You're just curling because you know something's counting for you. So that's a great way to get into not counting your repetitions, but still stay within a proper range and still have a pace for your workout where you're not just curling forever. Yeah. So sets for time. You could also do workouts overall based on a time cap. You could go to the gym and literally only leave yourself half an hour to work out. Maybe you normally go to the gym and you have a leisurely workout. You go and you have 2 or 3 hours. So you end up taking longer and doing less. Oftentimes, if you cut out the fat in your ability to take extra time or extra long rest, you will get more work done in less time. And that doesn't mean dropping the weight and doing a more endurance style training and building less muscle. That just means being more efficient with your time, not resting as long between sets, keeping the variables more accurate to hypertrophy rather than waiting 2 or 3 minutes between sets. You're only waiting 30 seconds to a minute, which is more conducive to building muscle. 2 or 3 minutes is more strength if you want to build more muscle tissue and get more hyperplasia or whatever they want to call it, whatever you want, transient hypertrophy, increase the pump, increase the cross-sectional area over the long term with your muscle development. You will be benefited by doing shorter rest periods, 30, 60, 90 seconds. And hyperplasia, that means you're building more muscle fibers. And that doesn't always happen. That's very rare. It's very hard to test for that. I think cats have hyperplasia where the muscle fibers split and they can create new ones. Human beings build muscle based on the muscle fibers you have. They break down, they increase in cross-sectional area. So I don't want to give you the idea that you're building new muscle fibers, but the point is you're getting transient hypertrophy, you are pumping up the muscles, you are creating that moment and that environment for the muscles to grow larger themselves. The average rep is 2 seconds up and 2 seconds down about for strength. So you can gauge maybe how long your timed sets should be, 45 seconds, a minute and a half maybe. Maybe you want to do a minute and a half. You could play around with different things, whatever works best for you. But I like 1 minute for a start. 1 minute for a start, curl for 1 minute. And that'll keep you within a range of probably 10 to 15 repetitions, realistically, if you're picking the right weight. You could also do this with a partner. So timed volume sets with a partner. And I do this with a good friend of mine a lot when we train. It's a great way to play off someone else, but keep the intensity high. Here's what you do. Burnout sets with a partner. For example, you could do 5 for 5. And 5 for 5 means you're doing an exercise. You're both doing the same exercise. And you're picking a weight that's probably, 70 to 80% of your max capacity. And you're doing 5 reps. So you do 5 reps. And then, for example, let's say we're doing squats. So we're doing squats, and I'll do 5 repetitions. And then I'll rack the weight. Right when I rack the weight for squats, she will take the weight off and do 5 reps. And then when she racks the weight, and your lifting partner, my good friend that we trained for years together, her name is Claire, and she's really the same mentality. And I'm going to get into this part in a second. So I will do 5 reps, and when I rack, she starts and does 5 reps. And then when she racks, I pick it up and do 5 reps. And then when I rack, she does 5 reps. So my work period is her rest period, and her working period is my rest period. So you're resting as long as it takes the other person to do the work. And you set a timer for 10 minutes. You just do 5, 5, 5, 5 until that buzzer goes off. And when you find a workout partner, it really doesn't matter if they're male, female. It doesn't even matter if they're stronger or weaker than you. Because, for Papa Swolenormous to find a workout partner that can lift as much as him, I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Don't be ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. Mire the gains. Shit. No, but in all seriousness, you need to find someone that can match your intensity. And it doesn't matter if they're bigger. It doesn't matter if they're stronger. It doesn't matter anything. It doesn't matter if they even have the same skill. They need to bring the motivation. They need to bring the intensity, and they need to be able to push. They need to be able to match your level of effort up here. Okay, that's the important thing, that you are motivated to push back and forth. So you have to find someone that matches you on that level. But 5 for 5 is fantastic. And like I said, you could also do time restrictions for that workout, not just in a set, but overall. Instead of doing an hour, try to organize your workout for 40 minutes or half an hour or 45 minutes. Just because you have 2 hours to work out doesn't mean you use those 2 hours to work out. It means you need to save and time manage your workout and then have an hour extra for recovery, for drinking water, for foam rolling, for doing some cool down or warm up, or doing some work, or following your passion or building your business or whatever it is you want to do, or taking a nap. You have extra time in your day if you're more efficient in your workout. So I think a lot of people go to the gym, which is fine, and they use it for an escape. So they go there to the gym and they spend extra time because they don't want to go home and deal with the kids and the family, and it's just stress at home. They don't want to leave because then it's one step closer to going back to work, or they prolong their workout because it's kind of like a sanctuary. It's kind of a sanctuary, and that's fine. but your actual workout, like you can do your workout and then have a meal and then hang out at the gym, but you need to keep your workout more efficient. And I think if you trim the fat and you tighten things up and you make your workout more work and you use time management, not just in your schedule during your day to get to the gym, but I think we all have to discuss more on this show, and you all have to think about more about your workout, about time management in your workout. Time management in your workout. And yeah, Jennifer, it's hard to find someone to work out with, which is why Swolenormous Premium is such a great place for individuals all over the world that are here that can meet, a community and be a part of a community. That's why Premium is so successful. But in person, it's hard, but you don't need anyone. I've gotten 99% of my results training by myself. I don't train with someone regularly. I rarely train with anyone because I have a tough time finding someone that emotionally that I like to work out with. It's not as easy as it seems, and I don't do it. You have to learn how to do it on your own. You can't depend on anyone else. That's the worst thing you can do. And that's a topic for another day, but that's the worst thing you can do is find someone and use them as your crutch to be motivated, because then when they fall off and they slack, then you're slacking and then, you're lost without them. You got to do it yourself. Forget the partner, focus on yourself. And then if it happens, you can add that as part of your training program, but you have to be able to do it yourself, and you have to keep on doing yourself. Even when you're with a training partner, you still have to do stuff on your own to make sure that you stay independent. And that's a huge reason why a lot of people fall out. They wait, we got to go back to the gym. I see posted in the comments, like on videos that I make and stuff like that. I see people saying, "Oh man, come on, when you get home, we're getting back into this." They wait for someone else. Well, these are the people that are never going to get fucking results because they're waiting and depending on someone else. You depend on someone else, you're going to get fucked and you're going to stay small forever. Thank you for joining me for episode 280 of the Daily Mother Swole. Obviously the most muscular podcast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our motherfucking biceps. Peace out, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Flex Friday. I will see you all tomorrow on Facebook Live, of course, at 12 noon Eastern Time. Thanks for watching on YouTube and listening to the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. Laters and peace the fuck